Brother, a lot of exciting projects I'm sure you've worked on, but one I want to go into is Fletcha. How did Fletcha become part of your life?
Yeah, so Fletcha was something we started, let's call it, 4-5 years ago.
The finest tequila in the world.
Yeah. So,
Fletcha. Drink it.
we had a client at the time, Black Quell Apparel.
Yep.
The founder, or one of the founders of that brand, is a guy named Marquez. And he introduced us to Aaron and Abe, because Aaron and Mark go way back. They've known each other forever. And so Aaron calls Mark and he's like, hey, who does the stuff for Black Quell? Can you recommend anybody? And he's like, well, yeah, I got these two brothers. They have a team out in Dallas that they kind of do everything for me. He's like, well, can you get me in touch?
What all were y'all doing for Black Quail, if you don't mind me asking?
So for Black Quell, it was a similar kind of trajectory as Fletcha, right? So we helped kind of get the initial branding going, the copywriting, the packaging, and now we do product design and a lot of other things for them, website development, etc.
Right.
So very similar to Fletcha, but Black Quell was a company that was getting started before Fletcha, and was having some good growth, but Fletcha, for whatever reason, just kind of was a rocket ship. It was 100 miles an hour from day one.
It's damn good.
Yeah.
Well, and the name Fletcha, it's got some swag to it, I gotta say. Like a lot of other tequilas, I'll say it and I'm like, that sounds, just like some American white guy named it. Or it sounds like, that's greasy.
Right.
But Fletcha, it's got some swag to it.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we are in the story, right? So Aaron reaches out to us and he's like, hey, I want to start a tequila brand. I got a buddy. He plays golf. We're both interested in kind of getting this thing going. So we were like, oh yeah, perfect. What's the website? What's the name? What's social?
Yeah.
We don't have any of it. We need all of it. So we're like, what do you mean? We're like, we need all of it. We don't have a name or anything. So we're like, okay, well, can you meet us, next week at our office? Yeah, done. So we meet and he's like, yeah, if you guys want to take everything, to get started, we need a name and a logo. So the logo that you see on Abe Answer's hat every single Sunday was the logo we created.
Yep.
We went through a ton of names, and actually Abe was the guy who threw out Fletcha Azul out there because the name of what it means. So Fletcha, if you don't know, is arrow in Spanish, or from Spanish to English, it means arrow.
And okay, I like that. Azul, y'all should connect with Brandon Cooks. That was just a random thought because
Azul is blue, and agave is Blue Weber agave, so it's kind of a homage to the Blue Weber. The story of Fletcha kind of goes back to Aaron and Abe's upbringing. So Aaron is a immigrant onion farmer from Mexico. Abe was born in Mexico and didn't have any sort of coaching and made it to the PGA, and last year was ranked the 7th best golfer in the world.
Can we give a shout out to Abe?
Yeah.
For just crushing it and being a beauty?
So Fletcha,
shout out Abe.
So Fletcha, when you think of an arrow, it can only move forward if it gets pulled back. And so for them, they thought that
is very true.
They thought time and time again in our lives, being, Mexican, being out of, immigrants or whatever you want to call it, we found we fall, setbacks. And finally, we've projected ourselves into a bigger spotlight to create this brand, and it feels true to who we are. So enter the name Fletcha Azul, and, they were like, can you guys create a logo for that? And we're like, yeah. So we did, and that's what it is, and that's how it started. And then from there, it kind of went like, you guys did great here. What's the next thing? And that was years ago, and we've known Aaron and Abe now for several years, and it's just been great working with those guys.
I love it.
Yep.
I love that it just started with, hey, we want to start a tequila company.
Yeah, that's pretty true to the two guys. I mean, they're very like, hey, you guys want to do this? And so with Ombre Skin, like the newer project we're doing, that's a very similar situation. Like it started the exact same way. It's the same group of guys, just pursuing a new pursuit.
And I think one thing that speaks volumes from that story is that, one, it's all about the connections you make, and two, um, just because you start doing a certain project for someone
Right.
doesn't mean you can't be a founding partner in their business
Yeah.
down the road.
Right. So yeah, I mean, initially with Fletcha, we were just really just the marketing team, right? And
Right.
we
Or just the logo designer kind of at
right,
first, right?
right. And so I mean, the thing with that project is, we became friends with these guys, and so
Yeah.
through that we've shared a lot of memories. We've shared a lot of tequila, and we're now building multiple other brands together, and it's cool to now be on the other side of it of like, let's just keep this going. Let's keep creating cool things and new things. Let's use a similar playbook, but pursue it in the same way. Like, make sure everything's right. Let's cross all the T's, dot all the I's, and kind of put our best foot forward to redefine industries.
I love it so much.